You had some youngsters go to FAMU.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm a guy who I think because this Grambling situation, where the football team protests because of the facilities and the deterioration of the campus. But for me, when I see a lot of our young people going to these schools who have Yale, it's like billions and billions of dollars people donate, and the historically black colleges, they suffer. They suffer, So I'm just glad to see that they still go to FAMU, and because particularly with a lot of the athletes, they get scholarships and they go to these places, and 9 times out of 10, because many of them are planning on a professional career,
Right.
but they don't graduate. They don't graduate, and I think if they went to the historically black schools, then they may not graduate, but they'd be nurtured, and they'd see people who look like them in positions of decision-making positions.
What it comes down to is that network, that support system. Yes, I have my mother and my father, but I also have my aunt, my sister, my grandmother, my pastor.
Extended family.
So that
Absolutely.
extended family is what we're trying to give these young men with the Young Achievers program. Every week that they come, we feed them. These young boys, they come in with appetites, and we try to give them a full course meal.
They
And
leave with their belly full.
Yeah, they get their belly full. And while they're eating, we give them etiquette classes as well.
Okay.
What fork to
What
use?
fork to
Right.
use,
How to eat.
How to eat.
Elbows not on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
Exactly.
stab your food
Right.
with a
Right,
knife.
exactly.
Listen,
Yeah.
how can folks? Two questions. How can folks get in contact with you? One, and what are the requirements for your mentors?
The mentors is very important. We would like to have a session with the mentors as well to let them know what type of students we're dealing with here as well, and let them know that we need them to be engaged in these young men in terms of following up. If the young men don't come to the program and they're following up on the materials that we give them or the essays that we ask them to write, follow up on them, chase up with them, find out, hey, what's going on? If you want to give back and and you don't have the time commitments, there's so many different ways you can participate. You can even recommend a young person to come, and that's your way of giving back as well. Connecting the youth with the mentors, that's what we look for in mentors.
Well, Muhammad,
The age frame. What is the age frame?
okay.
We typically take students in the 9th, 10th, and 11th grades. We do make exceptions for 12th graders. It is like a 4-year program because a lot of times with the 12th graders, we give them scholarships as well as laptops and wireless keyboards, but we don't want them to join the senior year just to get the free stuff. So you got to show a commitment. But we do make exceptions. We had some great young men that came in as seniors that are doing exceptionally well. They came into the program and ended up going to Penn State.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the big campus. So
Yeah.
we see the value that we've been investing in, and we see them investing in themselves as well.
Okay. I want to ask Muhammad, you're a former gang member?
No, I'm not a former gang member,
No,
but I actually grew up with a lot of people that were involved in gangs. I myself am an immigrant from Ivory Coast, West Africa. I came here when I was at the age of 4. I'm 25 now, but throughout my whole time, I grew up right there on 123rd Street and 7th Avenue. So I'm right there. Back in the days, from what I hear, that was a heavily gang and drugs area.
Yeah.
But definitely the area has changed over.
Yeah, still is. But it's okay.
Still is, but we're working on it. We're working on it. So throughout the whole time I've been going to school, I see the same guys hanging on the corner. Since I was in maybe middle school, same guys hanging on the corner every day while I'm going to school and coming back from school. And I always ask my mom, hey, Mom, what are they doing? They don't get cold standing on the corner? Or she's like, oh, just know I don't want you doing that. I never knew exactly what was going on because I was always just go to school, back home, go to school, back home. Till I hit high school was when I started seeing what was going on with the gang violence and some of my friends joining gangs, getting jumped into gangs, some getting involved in gun violence. And I sat there and I asked myself, is this what my parents came to this country for? And what will my father say to me if I ever got involved? If you don't know African parents, they're
Well, they're
they
like,
don't play that.
Yeah, traditional.
Yeah, so once I left high school to go to college, those same guys that I saw in the corner still been on the corner. Some got arrested, a few died, a few are pending gun charges right now. And, you know, these were guys that I seen growing up play basketball with, you know. I could still say that they were friends, but it just wasn't the way I was trying to go. So a lot of them would be like, "Oh, you're a schoolboy. You're a schoolboy. You're a schoolboy." That's all I heard. But I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with being a schoolboy.
Yes.
You know, someone that wants to get their education and do better for themselves, especially, like I said, coming from Africa where we're very less fortunate. The school system isn't how it is here in New York City. You have to walk 5, 6, 10 miles sometimes just to get to school. You're paying for your education since first, second grade. There is no wait till college for you to pay for education. You're paying since a young age. So once I got out of college, I've noticed some of the same guys are still on the corner, or some been arrested. Some are even dead. And it's that extreme to a point where I just want to be able to give back to these young students that will be joining the program on how to stay away from that.
Yeah, I asked you that because you said that you give them advice and suggestions on how to avoid gangs.
Yes.
And I'm saying, that's, were you a former gang member?
No, just
to be able to tell
Yeah,
a young person, and for a young person to say, pay attention.
Yeah.
Just
a lot of friends. And right now, my job sector, I'm currently a security manager at a upscale hotel downtown Manhattan. So I see a lot of things that goes on in the criminal field, such as, like I said, with the incident happening at Barney's. Getting to this manager position, I had to start off at retail stores as well. And what people don't know is, even though you're going there to purchase something such as a $300 belt, inside of the security field in the store, they're just looking after their assets. So there are security words that are said for people to go and follow people, which a lot of regular civilians may not know, but the stores are asking you, hey, go follow that person. Make sure everything is going. Bring it back to the program. Like I said, teach them what to do in case you're stopped by the police. Do you get aggressive? Do you just try to follow what they say but still protect yourself at the same time? Because what I've noticed is a lot of incidents could be avoided the way you take the situation.